Hey there, this is indie artist Shanbray Price, and I rock with Queen Silvy on the Queen Silvy Show. Bye, y'all.
Today on the Queen Silvy Show, with 7 short films, 10 music videos, 2 feature films, a sports docuseries on high school football, and so much more. Live from Atlanta, Georgia, independent filmmaker, writer, producer, director, Terry Barnes II.
Welcome to the Queen Silvy Show. Tune in at 11, good laugh, good vibe, that's for sure. Get smooth with Tim, get smooth with Tim. They have you running like you popped the pill. Once you hear the show, you ain't gonna want it to end. Get creative with the sounds you can make with your mouth. Reaching all over the world, Queen Silvy in the house. Award-winning show with the #1 spot, look out. It's the Queen Silvy Show. 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 It's the Queen Silvy Show.
Hi, this is Joe Mass. You are listening to the Queen Silvy Show. You are now part of the royalty.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live, it's time for the silky smooth sounds of Smooth Tim and Her Majesty herself, Queen Silvy.
Hey, it is Smooth Tim, and thank you for dropping in with us on another terrific Tuesday on the Queen Silvy Show. I really do appreciate that. Let me, at this time, introduce to you the world's sexiest granny, everybody's favorite comedian, the Queen herself, Queen Silvy.
Yes, it is me, Queen Silvy, on this terrific, it's your thing.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah, that's you. I'm taking his phone. You know I do teachers.
I thought phones were banned from here.
But
What
hey,
was I thinking about?
good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in this great world today. Yes, I am Queen Silvy of the multiple award-winning The Queen Silvy Show, ready to give and ready to receive and get some of this super greatness we have in store for you. Smooth, how are you today?
I am doing terrific on this Tuesday, and Queen, might I ask, how are you
You
doing?
can ask me. I'm supercalifragilistic.
Expialidocious, I suppose, is 24/7, 365. Queen Silvy, might I say you are
I know.
just simply
Amazing.
amazing. Yes, you are.
True that. Honey, I am amazing. But you are amazing, Smooth. You are amazing, as well as our amazing guest today.
Oh, absolutely. We have a renowned photographer, a filmmaker, actor, and extraordinaire, and we're going to have a good time with him. And also, as far as, announcements, our hearts and prayers are going out to the world. There's all kinds of stuff going on, still happening over in Ukraine. See, the president decided to take a trip over there and admire all the handiwork of the Russians.
Okay.
But in any regards, and I see we're still having some more shootings, so people lay down the guns and pick up the candy. Give people candy instead of bullets. I mean, what is going on? Love one another. Don't hate one another.
Right?
We can get a lot further in this world with love than we can hate.
Absolutely.
Also, if you would look at the screen when we go to the regular top of the screen there, go to our YouTube page, go to our Facebook page, or even go to www.thequeensilvyshow.com so you can keep up with everything that we're doing. And when you're on our YouTube page, what we would really like you to do is subscribe, because we've got all 3 of our shows up on there, as well as some other movies and projects and stuff that the Queen and I worked in. So very, very entertaining. And while you're there, like I said, please subscribe. We appreciate you.
Most definitely.
Analytics from last week was Ireland, New Zealand, Africa, USA, Canada, the Bahamas, and Jamaica. Thank you for making it into the top list. We appreciate y'all
We
for
most certainly
tuning
do.
on in.
Yes, we do. In fact, if you are watching this live, I want you to know that Smooth and myself, we love and appreciate you. And if you're watching this later on our archive, hey, what?
I believe our love is
Our
everlasting.
love is everlasting. We love and appreciate you on this terrific Tuesday, the Queen Silvy Show. I am raring to go. Yes, I am. But before I do, you know what I have to do. I must, give some motivational words from the Queen Silvy Show to you. In a world where you can be anything, and I mean anything, be yourself. Express yourself and don't mind what other people say. I mean, you have to love yourself. Make yourself a priority to get things done in this world. I mean, your vision and your self-willingness are the most powerful elements to conquer your goals. And when you have a $1 million vision, don't surround yourself with 1 cent minds. You hear me? I mean, why limit yourself when you can go as far as your mind lets you? What? That's right. And those are some motivational words from the Queen Silvy Show to you. Hey, listen, be kind, if you will, and spread the word for someone else to come in and get some of this super greatness that we have in store for you. As Smooth said, the lines are open. You're more than welcome to call in, ask our guest a question, give a shout out, or holler at Smooth and myself. That number is 817-602-0577. Those that is waiting for me to give shout-outs, I will give those shout-outs later in the show, as well as Silvy amid the fun word guessing game. We do have a contestant going for all that cash.
All them marbles.
Yeah, going for all that cash. But right now, listen, having worked on major studio productions such as Ozark on Netflix, Righteous Gemstones on HBO, with 7 short films, 10 music videos, 2 feature films currently in production. Look at this guy.
Gotta take a breath.
Right? I'm like, currently in production on the sports docuseries, plus a suspense horror series. Listen, Smooth, when I was first reading all of his things, I don't know why I thought about the holiday song. 4 Collingbirds, 3 French hens. I was like, 7 short films, 10 music videos, 2 blah, blah. Holy mackerel.
You're right.
And this is only the beginning.
That's a lot of work.
Very successful. Live from Atlanta, Georgia, I introduce to you creator, writer, producer, director, independent filmmaker, Mr. Terry Barnes II. Hey.
Hey. How y'all doing?
Hey, we doing well. I'm supercalifragilistic. How are you?
I'm the same. I would say it all, but I ain't want to mess the words up.
Oh,
so.
hey, it's all good.
Just sing the song a couple times.
Yeah. But really, you are phenomenal, doing some great things, and I know it's just the beginning of so much more in store for you. I'm honored that you have taken the time to be here on the show, because just with the list of things that you do, with the many hats that you wear, hey, I'm surprised you had time to give me this time.
I'm actually working at the studio right now. It's a bunch of productions going on, so I had to take a little longer lunch break.
Well, that's all right. That's all right.
Yep.
I don't know if you know, but I charge my audience the night before. So let me get my audience ready right now, because first of all,
Nice.
I want to give it up to you. Audience, where are you? There it is. For serving 8 years in the United States Air Force. Hey, servicing F-16 fighter jets. What?
Yes.
That's what's up. Am I correct that they call them Viper, though?
Viper. No, that's a different aircraft. I want to say that's like an F-22.
F-22. So tell me about the F-16. How you end up working on that?
I was one of the people that said I was never going to the military, and then eventually, like, I kind of ran out of options. I was in college for a little while, and then I seen there was a way to get money for college, and my dad was an Army guy, and I knew I was around Marine base. So I didn't really want to go those directions, because I had, some insight, but I never really had too much insight on the Air Force. And then, my recruiter pretty much told me about, you had to have good scores, and then he said it was a bunch of women in the Air Force, so that was right there.
You're like, what?
I went
Women,
right.
let's do it.
Women.
So
definitely.
women were the influence for you working. Hey, but you know what?
Boy, that's funny. We got a good retirement system. You can do all kinds of things. And no. We got women.
Hey.
Where do I sign?
Right.
That's all right. But you know what? It's not just about the women. It's the honor of
Yeah.
what you've done. Although that's a great conversation
Right.
piece in the bar. You'd be like, yeah, I used to work on
What can I say?
I always throw that in there. Like I said, that wasn't a big factor, but it was just crazy that he threw that as his recruiting tool to me.
That's all right. I know that 2007, if I'm not mistaken, is when you first started schooling, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So where did
went
you
to-
go and obtain further education and knowledge for this exciting career that you have?
Well, I found a small school. I was when I got out of the Air Force, I went back to North Carolina. My dad and everybody was still in the area, and I found a small college called Living Arts College, School of Communication Arts in Raleigh, North Carolina. And they pretty much had a digital filmmaking program. And this is when I first started discovering that you can use your GI Bill for, more than just normal type of schooling, And like I said, I was always a person that had the camera running around doing photos and videos. And I was like, let me just see it. And it all came in front of me one day. As a commercial came on, I called, enrolled, and all of a sudden I was a film student. So it was kind of crazy. That's how fast it happened.
That's
And
incredible.
like I said, luckily I had the GI Bill, was able to move things along faster.
That's incredible. I mean, a lot of people can't say it that smooth. It seems like it went by really smooth for you, paths opening for you. You have all these connections and things. I mean, for how many years total have you been doing what you're doing? Because you have titles. You're a creator, and the creator, I believe, comes from birth. You know what I mean? Having that great imagination. But you're a writer, a producer, a filmmaker. Where all of this come from you to do it?
I guess like I said before, I kind of grew up as an only child for a long time, so I had an imagination. I kind of created my own things, and then as I got older, I started like I said, I was watching movies, and I started realizing there was a behind the scenes of these things, and I always knew I liked the kind of creating things versus just being in it, like to kind of put it all together. So I started seeing these behind the scenes of movies and things like that, and I seen all these different people that you would never hear of, and I was like, well, damn, let me figure out what they was doing, and then with the camera stuff like that, I started seeing this, and I just realized it was actually a career and something that you can have fun with. Because like I said, I did military, did schooling, and those things was cool, but I always wanted to find something I love to do too. And then, those things kind of combined together once I found the schooling for it. And like I said, it was 2000, I want to say 7 when I first started my first film school. And then, like I said, from there, it's been continuous journey, all the way to Full Sail, like in 2011, I want to say, something like that.
Well,
So
anything that you anything you do, be it the writing, the creating, filmmaking, all of that distinctively reflects your voice, your style, and your approach to filmmaking. So I don't know. I'm sure there's a few more that don't know. So describe or tell me about Terry Barnes' creative outlook and his work style.
Basically, I like to do something different. I mean, I'm really wanted to be. I really wanted to be the first horror film director as a Black person. You know what I'm saying? But that kind of happened while I was in film school, so it kind of threw me off. But like I said, I always kind of wanted to do these things that I never really saw people like myself in. Like you always be a part of it, but you wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, we can be scared too. We can run. We can do all these things everybody else to do. So it's like once I got a chance to do these films I wanted to do, and then like so I want to do more situational horror versus just slasher things like that. I kind of wanted to deal with things that we would see in our environment, like hate to say it, but like shootings and things like that.
Oh, it's real, right?
Yes, so that was more like horror for me. It wasn't like I wasn't worried about somebody jumping out the woods with a knife. It was more like going to a movie theater and somebody start shooting something like that. So I would figure out ways to create that into like short films and things like that. So that's kind of how I got started with the horror stuff. And plus, it was always fun to do horror because you didn't necessarily have a superstar actor in there. As long as you had, the elements,
right?
You can
the
pretty
blood
much do it.
And the knives. I love horror movies. I'm like, bring it. I want to see flesh when it comes out as well.
Yes,
it's flesh you're working on right now, as well as the series. When we're going to talk about that in a minute. But is flesh like your first horror, or is the other films horrors too in there?
Well, actually, I have a few things on YouTube. If folks out there listening, you want to look on YouTube and look up NDO Films with a Z or Terry Barnes, you'll see some of my short films pop up. But I have one called Sleepers Awake, which is pretty much about a dream sequence. That's a horror short that's on YouTube. I have another one called I have a Spanish film up there as well, which is called Flashing Lights, but I kind of got it dubbed in Spanish because I want to do something different, and that's on YouTube as well. So if you look up Flashing Lights or whatever, I can't think of the pronunciation in Spanish, but that's up there. And like I said, I also have another one which is based on old horror. It's called The Hookup, and I don't know if people remember an old tale about being at the park. It was a date, couple at the park, and then they had the guy scratching on the car door and all that. You know that old story. It's an old tale that people would tell back in the day. Where then when they pulled off, the hook was on the door. So I did a movie like that as well, which I kind of just adapted to my style. And like I said, a lot of stuff is on YouTube as well. So
you into horror, and you like, I'm assuming, watching horror films. So do you ever watch a movie now that you are in the head, you are the man? Do you ever watch a movie or horror movie and critique it and be like, they should have done this, no, I can do this here better and all this here, that helps sharpen your skills anyways.
Yeah, I do. I try not to. It's a thing that when I went to one of my first film schools, they told us once you go to film school, you're never going to be able to watch movies with people again, and people are not going to watch movies with you no more because you kind of start knowing all the secrets. So I try not to do that as much, but I kind of do sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is, I'm just glad to see people creating their films, especially independent folks. So I don't try to critique it as much because once they get to the finish line, that's the main thing, and that's a hard thing to do as an independent filmmaker. So
absolutely. And everybody knows the Academy Award-winning filmmaker Spike Lee. You know what I mean? And the impact and reality that he brings to the screen, especially for people of color, right? What's your opinion on Spike Lee?
Spike was one of my original muses back in the days, when I first started watching movies, because like I said, that was one of the first movies I saw where we was all over the place and we was doing everything, and it was a positive thing, and it kind of related to what was going on in my environment. And then, like I said, once I kind of, did some research and kind of like going to film school, we had to like start studying directors and creators, and I, study their background and then, kind of where they came from and some of their visions and how they approach certain things. So I really, I like anybody that's innovative.
Right.
And tries to do something different and step out the box, because it's easy to do what everybody else is doing, but to do something totally different and then step out on it that's something totally different.
That's a great challenge. I love challenges like that. Being the first to do that. I mean, coming from the bottom. What's that saying? I'm trying to be hip.
From the bottom on up.
Yeah, started from the bottom. Now we at the top. I don't know. I'm square still.
Yeah, started from the bottom. Now we here.
Yeah. But wait a minute. Wait, that's Tyler Perry is who I'm trying to say started from the bottom and now he's here. You know what I mean? Yeah. He has everybody has a story to tell. But what's your opinion on Tyler Perry? Isn't he in ATL too? Right?
Yeah, he has a studio. I actually have some folks that worked on my series Flesh actually works with Tyler Perry. I had like an assistant director that worked on my series, a couple actors that works with his work on some of their productions. And like I said, we shot Flesh during the pandemic, so a lot of people was out of work as far as working at the major studios and stuff like that. So I called a lot of my friends from TPS, Tyler Perry Studios, from different places I've known since I've been here in Atlanta, and we just started putting Flesh together. So but like I said, going back to the original question, I just remember Tyler Perry watching those plays on like videos, you know what I'm saying, being in barbershops and see where it's at now to having your own studio. So you can't hate on that, you know what I'm saying? I know some people can, and everybody has their right to as far as entertainment and things they like, but when you talk about a drive and what somebody's doing, you really can't hate on that type of stuff when somebody can create their own city, know?
Right. Smooth.
No, I was just going to remark, I think it's fantastic now because we've gotten to work with some independent filmmakers, and it seems to be there's a lot out there now, and they're producing some really good stuff. And, it's great that you're down in Atlanta, and especially they've got a lot of support down there. So you've got good technicians to work with you on your film. You've got good videographers. You've got people that can edit, and you've got actors, and that's a plus in producing a decent film that people are going to watch.
Right.
Well,
I mean, that's what I try to tell folks as far as it's your location, almost like real estate. They always say location. But I mean, I try to do this stuff in North Carolina as much as I could. But once you kind of go in an environment with people who live in it and breathing it, it's easier to, thrive and do what you're trying to do versus trying to almost like you making somebody try to see something that you're seeing. Down here, a lot of people's living it, so it's a little bit easier for creators trying to put some stuff together.
Well, if they don't understand, we was in Dallas. Dallas is big with independent films. Atlanta's even bigger with independent films.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that's what somebody wants to do, you're right. Location. Move your ass to Atlanta and get in some films or filmmaking if that's what you want to do.
Well, all I want to say is for the Spike Lees out there and the Tyler Perrys and all of that, there's room for everybody out there. They need to move on over because they need to recognize Terry Barnes the second is the next huge mark doing it right now. Okay. Now, what's some of the responsibilities that you have? You're the boss to me. You're the one that making it all happen with all these hats that you have to wear. What's some of the responsibilities that you have to do?
Of course, like I said, going back to independent side, you have to wear a lot of hats, of course. So, I mean, you got to do pretty much everything from pretty much booking your locations, screening your actors, writing the script. Like I said, sometimes you got to shoot, edit, light, you know what I'm saying? You got these people to help you out, but you're like you said, you're the head, the point for all these things. So everything starts with you, even from scheduling shoots to, doing casting calls to actually doing, where you kind of got to do some rehearsals. And like I said, so I mean, I kind of gave you a broad answer, but it's like you kind of pretty much got to cover every basis, and until you put people in places for you, kind of pretty much got to do everything from writing all the way down to editing the project to promoting it.
Everything.
Now, are you doing everything yourself as far as editing and in the script writing and all this? Wow.
I pretty much I started getting help with camera work, so I actually was shooting my stuff as well. So now I kind of got some camera ops with me, but I actually write, I direct, I help with lighting because my background was in lighting anyway, so I do lighting and stuff like that. And then I had a partner when I was in my first film school, used to be my editor, and he just disappeared one day, and I had all these projects on the table, and it was so lucky my next class was editing, so I was able to take those projects and take it to my next class and start learning editing in real time. So I had projects that was, so versus everybody else doing it for a class grade, and I was doing it trying to get some folks off my ass.
I don't think people realize how much goes into making a film.
It really does. Right. It really does. And does your family member, like, whenever they see you coming, they like, hey, come over here and take a picture or come to this?
Bring your camera with you.
Yeah. Don't come. You can come without your wallet, but bring that camera with you.
Right. Exactly.
In Atlanta and in California, New York, wherever you are, even in the country, if you're doing something that you love, your passion, your purpose, in our competitive world, people don't always respect the creator. You know what I mean? Right. People going to doubt you. They're going to test you. And in Atlanta, how do you handle any criticism, hate, and keep yourself calm and in control at all times?
My thing is going back to the work, I'll go back to writing, go back to looking at some footage, some stuff we shot, and just kind of continue working on what you kind of have. And, since I have these projects, I have some that in the writing phase. I have some that's already shot and need to be edited, and I have some that's completed. So I kind of just try to maybe go back to those projects and see where I can fit in and try to keep things going. And being that I'm in the middle of this BC2 Bear Country 2 project, a documentary, that's a lot of months and time. So it's like I'm always kind of, working on how to create something, how to make it better. Like this weekend coming up, we're going to do phase 2 where we're going back to interview like players and coaches. And like I said, but the first phase was just catching all the football stuff, but you can't have no control over. Mm-hmm. So now in this part, I can kind of do these interviews, control lighting, control the environment. So it's easing up a little bit versus just trying to get to the game and set up and run around and all these things like that. So
now is this is a real football team you were dealing with, correct?
High school.
Yes, high school football team. They actually went undefeated and won the state championship this year.
And you went to school there, right?
Yeah, I went there, and then we did it 10 years ago, and the same thing happened. They won it 10 years ago, so that's why it's BC2 because it's Bear Country 2.
Right.
10 years later, and we just happened to pick up 10 years, and they went undefeated and won the state championship again. So it's like.
Maybe they should have you hang around as a good luck charm.
Yeah, you the good luck charm right there. They're like, look, you get free tickets anytime you want to come in here.
Give your ass season tickets.
So when you walk in the hallways of the school, are you in there? They got to have a picture of you because you putting them on the mark.
I mean, eventually we'll get there. I try not to be there.
It'll be a statue of you right outside in the big yard. You know how sometimes they had a bear or whatever. No, it's gonna be you. It's gonna be
one thing they did do is they put like the Bear Country. It's a poster they put outside the gymnasium, and like I said, Bear Country is the name I kind of came up with because we're the New Bern Bears. and I just thought Bear Country was a good thing. So now they actually had that outside the gym where it says Bear Country, welcome to Bear Country. So I
That's
think
what's
that's
up.
pretty cool.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That is so what's up. I'm proud of you. I'm like, brother. No, I'm just kidding. Look,
I appreciate it.
from your opinion though. Now, this is
Mhm.
from your opinion and your
Yes.
experience thus far. What do you believe is the pros and the cons? Or wait, let me say the benefits and the pitfalls of being an independent filmmaker and director, writer, producer.
Mhm.
What do you think?
All right. I guess I start with the pros. The pros, of course, is if you're a creator and this is your passion, then you get to do what you love to do as an adult. And you still have to maybe take care of your things, as bills, stuff like that. But it's a way you can almost find a lane to still live some of that childhood stuff out. So the pros is having a fun environment, creating things, meeting new people. And like I said, and it's a stressful environment sometimes. But at the end of the day, you all working together. So we might fuss and fight sometimes because you gotta, you were trying to put this vision out there, but at the same time,
Trying to look
you could be somewhere doing something you really don't like. So I mean, a lot of pros is that, and then some of the cons, of course, is long hours, of course. Maybe doing a lot of things that you wouldn't want to do yourself, but you probably have to in the beginning. Like I said, and then another con is competing with studios and the major organizations that have a lot of funding and a lot of resources to make movies.
right.
So like I said, and then of course another con is like anything is gonna be stress. You know what I'm saying? If you really love something, you really wanted to make it nice, and you really wanted to be something to be perceived by everybody, you're gonna stress a little bit. You're not gonna just be like, oh, everything's gonna work out. And especially if you kind of have all these hats you have to wear. So
Right.
it's like I said, a lot of the cons can be like just stressing out, trying to figure out everything, and you almost have a God complex because a film is almost like a world. So you kind of create this world, so you kind of feel like everything's your responsibility. So that's kind of, I guess, it can be a pro and a con because you can be the God, but then again,
Right. We're human,
you know
right?
what I'm saying? Well, they say with great responsibilities come with great powers come great responsibility. So
That's
you know.
right. That's right. Did you have something?
Now, can I ask you how you currently are marketing your films? Are they basically just on YouTube, or are you creating your channel so that you can start to monetize off of this?
Yep, that's what I'm on the process of now. Like I said, I started off, learned so much over the years, and now I'm really trying to create my own streaming platform. I'm working with some creators and some designers to almost make like our own Netflix type thing. You know what I'm saying? It's still in the works because I kind of want all creators to be able to get, I won't say 100% of their stuff. Even if it's not 100%, at least 5 to 10%, maybe to somebody's helping, but the majority of it should go to these creators. And it's this thing is trying to get our people mindset on, if I put a film out and it's my website, or you put a film out your website, it's the same as going to a Netflix or going to something else. And I think the mindset is thinking that you're not going to get the same quality. And I think it's just almost like you being taught a certain thing, like you taught a Nike and Adidas, but then somebody else might have a shoe this month's quality, but it's just breaking the mindset of
Right.
getting people open to like hey, and then like I said, and that's what I've been doing over a few years. So I'm glad you asked that because like I said, I've done my own thing with Bear Country One. I put out myself, and the thing is, since it's a documentary, I know I had a following already with all the students and all the people in the city. So that marketing scheme is a little bit different because I'm at the games. You're doing merchandise. Like this is one of the shirts from the new documentary
We
BC2.
have that.
So we do a lot of merchandise and things like that. But then when it comes to the horror stuff, you kind of have to take a different approach because it's a private thing. So you're not really dealing with a community and a bunch of people. So you really have to do some marketing like social media. You have to start doing these commercials and things like that. And so like I say, each project is kind of different. Like I said, I'm just lucky for the documentary.
Right.
You're dealing with all these football teams and all these different players and parents and coaches. So you kind of already have a good market to start with versus trying to create that market,
Right. That's an advantage there.
Well, you got to hustle. Because we do know some people that hustle, and the hustle will pay off. Because, as I said, I know that they started out on YouTube, was eventually able to migrate over to IMDb.
Right.
So, and that's all about the hustle. And I mean, the one person I'm talking about is a nonstop.
You talking about Mario?
Yeah, but
have you heard of Mario Facey?
Sounds familiar, but I can't say for sure. I don't want to,
Yeah, he's one out of the Dallas Fort
Hustle.
Texas. I mean, he hustles. He grinds on his thing, but that's what you have to do because there's so many out there. And I mean, that's part of it. But we're all human, and like you say, you have all these hats on. I mean, you just named so many things that you do. It makes me want to go and have a glass of white wine, red wine, something. I don't know. you look so young. You're a very handsome man, look so
Thank you.
young, but I think that the stress from it all, is that gray hair on your chin, young man? I'm like, what?
Yeah, what's that on his chin
What?
there?
I'm like, what? Well,
Yeah,
some people's born
that
with
came
gray
over the last
hairs.
few years.
But what do you do to unwind? What is it
It's funny
that
trying to meet
Carrie
them bills.
does?
My answer used to be make movies, but I can't say that no more because people got on me for that. So now it's
Uh,
it's like I try to like watch some sports. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I break out the PlayStation, play a game if I can, and just relax and chill. I got a dog too, so I chill out with my dog and walk and just kind of just try to exhale from everything and try to take a break from everything because, like you said, so many things going on. Like I described somebody else. I said it's like remember the old school days where you used to have those control rooms. There was a bunch of TV monitors all stacked up. That's how like my brain is. It's like it's maybe 20 TVs and a bunch of different things on them. And sometimes you got to try to cut them off, but you really can't cut all of them off because there's always going to be something. Because I'm a parent as well too, so I have to deal with that. I have responsibilities.
wow,
and
that's
bills, so
another
like,
hat. Jiminy
Yeah.
Crickets.
right.
Wow,
Yeah,
filmmaker,
she turned
daddy,
24
everything
too,
else,
so-
right?
Right? But you
Yeah,
know what? You're
yeah.
leaving a heck of a legacy with what
Yeah,
you're doing.
thank you. I
know what I'm
appreciate it.
saying? You really are. And today, let me just say, today, anyone with a smartphone, that is, can create and globally market their videos for varying degrees of success. Some areas, photography companies went out of business because it can't
Yeah.
keep people to come in because everybody with these smartphones. And with today's generation of kids, we know they're on videos and they're on smartphones and all of this here. And, they actually have more tools and technology than me. I'm not saying my age or nothing like
Right.
that, but they have
Right.
more tools and technologies greater these days. But hold on,
Yeah, they do.
how
Yeah.
can we all, or what can we do to broaden those minds and awaken their creativity to the next level of success? So that they can have a story of success to share.
Mm-hmm.
What can we do?
Honestly, man, for me, I just got to be an example. So it's like like I said, there's some of the questions you asked is kind of piggybacking off some things I'm thinking. It's like because like I said, I did a documentary 10 years ago, and like 2 or 3 of the guys that's on that football team actually ended up doing photography and video, and I ended up bringing them in on my team for this 10 years later documentary. So it's like almost you got to mentor folks, you got to show them different things, and then lucky for me, like I said, I look younger, and I'm not not like a stuck up type person, so. Sometimes we got to be able to relate to our youth too. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we come with a suit and say, "Hey, you need to do this, do that." I wasn't like that. I didn't want to listen to that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But somebody come like me. I'm college educated. I was military. I work for a big film studio, and I look like this. You know what I'm saying? So I can come to you, and you like, yo, I can still be me a little bit and still kind of do these things. So that's something I fought against growing up a long time because I always wanted my hair a certain way, but then I couldn't do certain things. So that's why I think I became a creator for real, because it's like I got so tired of being inside a box or how you supposed to look or how you supposed to wear this. So then I write my own stuff, anything can
Right.
be whatever. So
Right.
can't nobody tell you what to do. So
But hold on, you just said that you don't have to wear a suit. You can go just like this, and you can. But are you? Are you going out and to these boys and girls club or wherever these community clubs for the kids and speaking and helping them see that, listen, you can be anything, and we got new technology and ways to do it, and let them follow you? Have you considered that, or even doing it online?
I definitely do it. That's something I'm gonna get into more. And I do it more online. Like I get a lot of inbox from folks. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times parents say, "Hey, I got a child thinking about going to Full Sail. I got somebody thinking about doing this." Even a couple of days ago, I'm here at the studio, and a driver pulled up, and he was saying, "Yo, my son is coming down. He's thinking about jumping into this, film stuff, whatever." And I kind of gave him some ideas. So it's like I eventually want to do more formal things where I can really talk to folks. But right now it's all organic. Like and like I said, from knowing all these kids from doing a documentary 10 years ago, it's like I have hundreds of people that can just hit me up sometime. Over years, where all of a sudden I know you like 5 years ago when you was in high school, but now you're trying to figure out this photography thing.
That's
so
right.
it's like and people know I'm open to talking to folks like that. So that's one of the main things. I actually want to eventually probably go into teaching. I want to say.
Yeah, that's what's up.
What I wanted to touch on real quick, and we was talking about technology and how it's in the hands of these kids now. These kids got these cameras with what the gimbals have built right into them now,
Right.
aren't they? So, you can take perfectly still moving pictures. It's amazing how do you keep ahead of that curve with your technology?
Right.
You just bring them. You bring them with you.
Right.
Oh, that's a nice camera you got. Oh, you trying to? Oh, yeah. Come on, I got something we can work on together.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's got to be tough to keep up with this.
It's hard to. It's like, I mean, when I first, like I said, when I first went to my film school, well, especially my second school, I was already like 30 plus. So I come in there, I'm like, just trying to catch up with everything, and everything's moving so fast. And then by the time the semester's over, it's some new technology already came out from what you just learned.
Right.
And
right.
It's almost
right. Like back to the classwork
like
you go. But hey, that's how you stay one up on it though. You keep going as they keep bringing it out. And that's what's up. And I'm proud of you on the teaching part, because our youth, really needs the influence and the inspiration. It's hard right now, especially with this pandemic and the schooling and making good use of your time, all of that things like that. So, hey, you are the one. I'm going to send a whole bunch of kids to you. I'm like, call him.
Do that
ask him.
Sure.
He knows.
Yeah.
But Bear Country, it was 10 years ago, it was Bear Country, the series, right?
Yes,
and now we're doing Bear. We got that emblem to send to show.
I just might.
Bear Country 2, 10 years later. That's for Bear Country. There it is, represented.
BC2.
So we're gonna pop a couple pictures and you tell me about it. These are from the shoot of the Bear Country 2, 10 years later, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what we got?
Okay. That one right there, this is from the series. So this is from 10 years ago. This is a poster I created, one day after we started promoting the first film 10 years ago.
That's where it started.
This picture, and I started to put this picture, and it just looked like, because, the minute can't see it as much, but if you zoom in, you see, like, one guy, he's, like, using the water bottle to rinse off the mouthpiece for his teammate. You know what I'm saying? So it's all these things we're showing. And then you got the other guy on the left side. He's, like, frustrated because of the tough game. So kind of to show you, what the series about. And the funny part about this whole thing, the guy that's in this poster right here on the left side, he plays with the Detroit Lions right now.
All right.
Is that the guy in the black shorts and the white shoes?
Yeah, he's sitting down. The one that's
I was joking with you. I was looking at the cheerleader.
Wait a minute, he was serious. He was like, "Wait a minute, let me see." Yeah,
I was like,
Hey,
wait a minute. Got some skinny legs for a pro football.
No, but that's what's up. But you would think that it's a piece of cake, or you tell me, is it a piece of cake to get those scenes correctly and do the shots and angles and the plays that you want when it comes to football? Did they ever get mad because they had to go do it again? Nope, do it again.
See, he was on the field trying to film.
Right. What's the good thing about documentaries is that you can't really create anything. You got to you pretty much just watching everything. So you kind of just the wall, you know what I'm saying? So the story gonna tell itself, and then the hard part, I guess, is editing and putting it all together. But most of the time, life does is, especially with sports, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have a coach getting hyped, you're gonna have a good play, you're gonna have different things going on. So it's just capturing them, and then the key is just putting it together where the audience can see it the way you saw it.
Well, tell me about this.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Tell me about this picture here. Can you see it?
Oh, this one. This is from the state championship game this year. This is the last game of the year. This is some compilation of everything. We was at the University of North Carolina, which is in Chapel Hill, where they played the state championship game, and this is the best of the best. And this is me in the end zone, just getting some shots, as far as coming to the end of the season and realizing, like, wow, we have another undefeated season. And this is, I think that picture, we was already kind of up, so we kind of already knew that we was about to win that game. So it was just kind of like one of those pictures I kind of just want to show, that the back, because a lot of people from North Carolina, they don't know that wall is Carolina blue, and that's UNC, and that's a big thing in North Carolina. So
that's what's up. Tim has a video also. Is this video clip here from current shooting of Bear Country 2 10 years later? Do you have that video?
Yeah, give me just a second. How about
there's a video that I have that I want to show. It's brief, but yet still it's good.
Mm-hmm.
We got it. That's the picture. Yeah, we did that already.
You got that? If they ain't naming their damn children,
he was talking.
You ain't done your job. This is your house. Let's go. Say it after me. Oh Lord, as the battle going through life, has fulfilled its fast. Chance to equal all the strive, courage to love and the bear. We shall win, let it be by the code. Faith, honor, and I. We shall lose, let us stand by the goal. Cheers to winners go. A team. Let's go.
Okay, that video, That was the infamous bear prayer, which they say pretty much prior to every game and at the end of every game. We got that pretty much. That's another video of that one. This past was just another one from the state championship game. But like that video, that was Coach Wims. It's a funny story with him. Is he was one of my mentors coming up in high school. So you know what I'm saying. So when I come back to the documentary, he's a coach at the high school. So it's like how these things kind of work together. And he was like, "Yo, come do what you want to do." And so so that's his thing. That's how he motivated the team before every game. They called it bear prayer. He said he got passed down from his old coach from middle school. And it's something that get the guys together. And like I said, I thought that was a key thing because that's a part of every game.
That's what's up. That is nice. He was talking the talk too. I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
But he was straight, and they were paying very good attention.
They better.
Yes. What are they ranked this past year? Football hasn't started for them, right?
Yeah, they have state rankings. Yeah.
Are they ranked?
I don't know if the new rankings came out yet, but I mean, I think far as I know, they was one of the top schools in the actual country, not just in North Carolina. So they was probably like the 12th or 13th in the whole country. You know what I'm saying? Of course, in North Carolina, they won the 4A division, which that's the top division in North Carolina. So they the top school in North Carolina right now because they won the 4A state championship. And 4A is the bigger schools, the biggest schools. So now, like I said, they were pretty much top of the line.
Now they have the championships in ATL. They do all the championship games there.
No, this is North Carolina. The actual football team is North Carolina. I'm living in ATL, but the football team is in North Carolina.
Okay. I was just thinking I was going back to the days when we was in Dallas. We lived about a half mile from AT&T.
Oh wow!
And, I'm not saying I'm a Cowboys fan though.
But we're not Cowboys fans. But anyhow, all the high school football games was at AT&T.
Don't get me
started. It was amazing.
I heard about that. That had to be crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah. It's like a whole week of nothing but football playoffs.
Right.
Cowgirls.
Well, that's kind of how the state championship games go in North Carolina. And like I said, I guess every game like that there, but in North Carolina, all the state championship games come play at the same stadium. So it'd be 4A championship, 3A, 2A, and 1A. So you have all these different games in the same place.
Yep, same thing.
So let me get this right. You are currently in production on two things: Flesh.
Yeah.
And
ma'am.
that. Really, Mike?
Yes.
Do you sleep?
Oh man, I get a couple hours every now and then.
A couple hours every night. Oh my God! I had the picture for Flesh, by the way. Let me go ahead and
you
get
want me to pop that up?
Yeah.
Flesh.
When will Flesh
right
be completed?
There's Flesh.
Yeah. Flesh is I'm looking at. Well, see, what happened is like once the documentary came, I was in the process of finishing up Flesh, but then I didn't realize the 10-year thing was coming up with the documentary, and it's like with timing like that, you can't really recreate those things. So it was like I kind of had to switch gears real quick to try to go ahead and get that documentary, because if not, somebody else probably would have did it, and and the same thing. It's just like 10 years later, it's my baby, so I was like, I got to at least jump back and do that one.
Right.
But like I said, so I'm trying to put Flesh out before. Maybe by the end of the year, and I want to put Bear Country 2 out the summertime before football season, maybe, and then maybe do a Halloween Octoberish for Flesh, so it can kind of give it that whole feel for the horror stuff.
How do you promote them out though? Do you put them on streams for people to purchase and view? Do you put it out? How do you do it?
Well, that's what I'm doing. That's what the process I'm doing right now. I'm kind of coming up with the process on how I want to put these projects out. Like I may even throw some on some of the streaming platforms, like just so people can see them. I'm really more into independent and getting the most out of our projects for the creators and everybody's involved with it versus some company coming in and getting majority of all the stuff that you worked on.
Right. So, put it up on YouTube when you get your 1,000 subscribers. Start monetizing off of it.
Right.
Put the money in your pocket.
So are you also? Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And like I said, I'm just looking at maybe creating a website, and what I'm saying, and like the thing is, what I learned from folks like LeBron, you have your own following from social media. I just recently lost a lot of my social media following because of some kind of glitch. I don't know what happened, but I lost all my pages.
I saw you had posted that. I was like, what?
Yeah, and I had like 10,000 some people I was able to access and talk to and put stuff out to. So I'm down to like maybe 1,000 of that. So it's kind of crazy.
Oh shit, that would have been worth some money.
Yeah, it kind of was. I'm just glad everything I had wasn't involved with social media, because I still do real things. But like I said, a lot of my merch stuff, like for the the Bear Country and Flesh, a lot of stuff was online. We're doing like social media. Yeah, and I still can't get back on Instagram right now. Like I've been trying to get back on, but I still can't get back up there. And that's why I had a lot of traction going on with Flesh and some of the projects. So it's just one of those things where I'm trying to rebuild my following back up. I'm trying to do some.
You're following this. It's there and growing. Let me just say.
Yeah,
But
thank you.
do you pitch some of the the short films and things to some of these independent film festivals and awards and
Right,
stuff like that?
right. And that's the goal for this year, to definitely do more film festivals and all. It's like I said, when COVID and things happened, I had to kind of restructure a lot of things, and everything kind of just kind of switched up. But it gave me some more clarity on everything too. So it's more like it ain't as much important as making a movie as making the movie so people can really see it and get the most out of it versus just making a movie. I used to make movies, put on YouTube, but now it's like I don't really want to take the time to get the most out of putting these films out, because like a lot of my movies now is messaging, for my people and different people. So the more people can see it, the more they'll catch the message. So it's not
Absolutely.
about just putting it out there. It's about people seeing it and catching the messages and hopefully changing some folks' lives down the road.
Right, right. So how are you mentally? I mean, how do you even balance and prioritize? Look at you doing two projects right now, and not it explode your mental space.
I don't know. I guess I always been able to take on high capacity things. I get, and being from the military and all that thing. I was around the 9/11 era too, so I had to deal with a lot of stuff. Dealing with military. So today, man, this stuff ain't that serious. Ain't nobody shooting no bombs. Ain't nobody
Right,
shooting at me. You
right.
know what I'm saying? I ain't got to live in no tent.
You
I
can
ain't got to
hear
walk through
boom,
the
and it's
desert.
like,
So
well,
like,
you know,
I don't have to be worried about being out on a ship in the middle of the
yeah,
damn
I
ocean.
ain't got to worry about the alarm going off, and I got to put my Kim suit on and all that. So
right. That's all right.
it's like if
You're
yeah.
well
So it's like for me,
disciplined.
it's easier to do these things because it's not like life threatening things. Sometimes I feel like it because I'm a creator and I get crazy with it, but at the same time, it's like it's never that serious. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So you wrote all of this. You wrote the
Yeah,
whole. Did you really for the docu series and Flesh?
yeah,
Ooh, I'd like
yeah.
to
I
just
write
get
pretty much
inside
everything.
your brain on a bored moment and just see this dude is probably everywhere. But that's how you
Yeah.
gotta be, right?
I mean, sometimes
Creative
I can sit and
mind.
write a whole. Sometimes I can sit and write a whole movie out, and sometimes it's like it's one movie I've been writing for like maybe almost 7 years now. But it's like a real drama. It's like a real thing. It's called Praying Hands, and it's pretty much about a couple dealing with faith and things like that. And then the wife has a relationship with the pastor, and how they all come back around to. So it's just something that
A lot
dealing
of
with
people can
some
relate to
people I
some
know.
stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Well, and see, that's what it came from. Is one of my like a lot of people know I'm a filmmaker, so they'll be hitting me up and telling me a lot of little things, and it's like I'm like, hey, I make movies, so what I'm saying, keep telling me so much, I'm gonna have to go sit down and talk for real. But I mean, a lot of it comes from people. I used to use Facebook and social media. I used to ask questions because I always wanted to write from other people's perspective as well, not just mine. So I
Mm-hmm.
was so that film I did stuff like hey, if you caught your husband cheating, how would you react? I would put posts like that, and then I can read all these different posts, and I can get a reaction versus what I would think as a man. You know what I'm saying? Versus what
Right.
a woman would
Oh,
think.
heck
So I was
yeah,
able
that
to take
makes
that,
it
and so that's my
interesting.
writing was kind of coming from different people versus just what I thought.
All right. That's
Let
what's
me
up.
ask you, and this, if this makes any sense, when you're writing stories, do you ever put like a little Easter egg in so that it'll get explained a little later on?
Yeah, all the time, all the
Okay.
time. It's a lot of stuff I got, and I'll just be hoping somebody see it or somebody catch it. And like I said, sometimes some people will, but like I said, some stuff is the new stuff that hasn't been put out yet. So like when some of these films come out, there's definitely some Easter eggs in there where people are going to see some things or some stuff I did on purpose, or sometimes I might even do a mistake on purpose and leave it in there and just see if somebody's paying attention.
That's what's
I,
up.
I always like it when you catch something like that and you're like, what the hell
Mhm.
was that all about? And then
Right.
later on in the film, it's like,
Yeah.
I
And I'm like, they had
get.
to do it on purpose because some stuff is just like they had to do it on purpose because they had to go through so many eyes and so many people that somebody had to see it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I
So
hear that you're planning, or tell me, are you planning to release 3 films this year?
hopefully that'd be dope. I mean, I'll definitely
Right.
two for sure. I want to do Flash and Bear Country 2, and then like maybe that's something else. That's a couple other things I want to shoot this year, but I don't know if they're gonna be able to be released this year. But I definitely want to do Flash and Bear Country 2 and put those out and let them kind of run. I always wanted to want to be one of the people that had like like you had the award shows and it's like your movie up against your own movie. I always wanted. I never saw that yet. I haven't seen like the best director like have two movies out. So I always wanted to be the person that had like maybe two movies out at the same time in the theater going
That's
against
what's
each other.
up. Boy, that is what's up.
Well, if you do win, just don't go up and slap anybody, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go up and
right?
do no stuff like that. No. But you know what? I can see that very much happening with you. You are really, really on it, doing some great things. I'm looking forward to seeing Bear Country 2 10 years later. I'm really looking forward to Flesh because I like gory horror stuff.
Yeah.
And it's terrible because I have grandchildren, and when they come over, they like, can I see a killing movie? I'm like, I done poisoned my kids the wrong way.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Flesh is it's a horror film, but it's really it's about sex trafficking of women of color.
I like it.
You know what I'm saying? So the vampires are the revenge thing. So all the vampires are actually to get back. So it comes off.
Don't
as
give
their
too much
victims.
away.
I get it. You gotta keep me posted on all of this because I really would like to share this.
It's because like I said, people can look at it, they might think it's just this horror thing, but I kind of want to give people insight. It's not the average horror film. It's like really some messaging in there. But like I said, we doing the classic horror stuff because we're doing the same things, but it's like the message behind it is a little bit deeper.
But you're addressing human trafficking.
Yeah, exactly. So and it's like this is one day I was just listening to the Ricky Smiley show when I first moved here to Atlanta, and he kept throwing these numbers out and all these things. And I'm one of the people like, if something keep on hitting you in your face, you gotta do something about it.
Right.
I don't care. Like I said, I ain't a cop, I ain't no superhero, but I write. So I was like, well, let me just do this.
Well, good for you. Well, where's my audience again? Audience.
Wrong one.
No, audience. That's what's up. I'm really proud of you. You keep on doing what you are doing, and
I appreciate you guys.
You must keep me informed with all that you're doing. But before we go, is there anything that you want to add? I may not have said that you want to say.
Basically, I want to say
any shout outs.
I want to thanks you guys for one. Because like I said, this has been the hardest part about everything is doing the outlets and interviews and people recognizing what you're doing and like some of the people I'm real shy and a quiet person, so I don't run out here and say, hey, I'm making these movies, I'm doing these things. So, you know what I'm saying? So it takes a while for somebody like me to probably get found out, like for folks like you, because I'm not out here running around like, hey, look at me, look what I'm doing. I just kind of do it, put my head down and keep running. And, it'd be other people. That's why I'm, working on teams, because other people have to recognize your stuff sometime,
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you leave it to me, I'm gonna be inside working and running around. Or
that's all right. We're gonna notice and find you because we see the work that you're doing, and it's great work that you're doing. So hey, I'm honored to have you on the show now, and hope to have you on the show again and again.
Definitely.
I'm like, I know this guy.
Definitely.
I know him.
Definitely. I'm trying to come and make an appearance one day.
That's what's up. So tell everybody how you can be followed on social media, where they can go to check out. Is it still available to check out the series, Bear Country the series as well?
Yeah. Well, basically, Bear Country the series. I have that on my independent platform. So my email is indiofilms@gmail.com. So everything is pretty much Indio Films with a Z. So if anybody out there, if you Google it, it should bring up YouTube, Facebook, and all that stuff. So it's Indio Films with a Z. My Facebook is Terry Barnes. You'll see a picture of me up there, and I got a Facebook page called BC2 Bear Country 10 Years Later. You got that page up there. It's a Flesh page out there somewhere too. All my Instagram stuff is not accessible right now, so I can't get up there. But Twitter is at Indio Films. Snapchat is Indio Films. So like I said, if you Google anything, YouTube movies, you can pull out that stuff. You'll see Indio Films, and you see Terry Barnes attached to it. That's how you can reach me. Of course, like I said, social media right now. Instagram should be up soon. I'm still working on that though.
Well, let me just clear. When you say Indio Films and you say it so good, they're probably going INDI, but it's the letters NDO Films, and films is with a Z, baby. NDO Films. So hey, that's what's up.
Indio stands for No Days Off, so that's where Indio Films comes from.
And that's probably
no
true
days
with
off,
you too, huh?
Yeah, that's
days
somebody named
off.
me that. Well, I got named that a long time ago. They was like, man, you know days off, days off. So I was like, you know what, let me make that to an actual company. So I formed Indio Films from that.
That's smart. Well, hey, listen, I thank you so very much. I appreciate you taking the time being here on the show. You are a great person doing some fantastic things, and I look forward to even more with you. I want you to go out and enjoy your day because you never have a day off. That was so cute. I like that.
Anyhow, enjoy your no day off.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And excuse the background. I'm in the studio right now, so it looks like I'm in jail somewhere. But that's
well, so are we.
Yeah, that's all right. Excuse us. We're in studio too. Work.
Look, I sat down. I had to find a new location, so I sat down and found a good spot. I looked behind me. I was like, "What?"
It works. It looks good, honey. Listen, you at work doing your thing, and that's what's up, right?
Yeah, it's like I'm making a horror film right now, so I got this.
I didn't see no blood splat on the wall, so we good.
Right.
We good. All
That's
right.
for the next episode.
All right. Well, hey, until next time, my friend.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day, too,
Thank
guys.
you.
Okay.
Have a good day.
All right.
So you're going to get a commercial break in on here. When we get back, let's check out Silvy Amid, the fun word guessing game with our contestant going for all that cash. All they have to do is name how many words in 60 seconds for the letter that Smooth is going to call out. So check this out. And when we get back, hey, let's get it on with Silvy Amid. And why is it called Silvy Amid? It's simple because I said so. All right. Oh, I got to keep stalling so he could get a commercial. Oop, oop. Here we go. So while he do that, I just want to say that Terry in Barnes, I was going to say the third. He was like, girl, don't you put me down as no third. The second has it going on. Bear Country 2, 10 years later. And the horror movie Flush is in the making. Stay tuned. We're going to keep you posted so that you can get connected and spread the word for someone else to get in on that greatness. So stay tuned for that as well. Smoothie Smooth. I like when they say yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm getting there. I got to get this stuff redoing on this new
Yeah, because over the weekend we
redid our entire studio.
That's what's up. And we were installing some new equipment here in studio. So some things is there, some things has to be found nevertheless.
Yeah, when you change over everything in the studio, all brand new equipment. Thank you to our sponsors.
Absolutely. I love sponsors.
Me too. In fact, check it out.
Hey.
Therapist and podcaster. My new book has been released called Anxiety Hacks, with proven techniques, tools and tips to calmness. So if you suffer from generalized anxiety, panic attacks, or feel abnormally anxious about certain things, within Anxiety Hacks I show you how you can overcome these conditions successfully, enjoy a healthy and carefree life. My website is katehudson-hall.com. Anxiety Hacks is available now on Amazon.
Hey, welcome back to the Queen Silvy Show. You know what time it is. It is time for Silvy Amid, the fun word guessing game. Hey, is our contestant here?
Boom, it looks like our contestant is here.
Is here. Very handsome contestant. State your name and where you are.
This is Superstar King Patino all the way from Toledo, Ohio.
All right. That's what's up. Hey, for the month of February, every week we have a contestant that comes on. Smooth Tim will call out a letter, and I will say on your mark, get set, go.
He is in dog, right?
You 60 seconds to name as many words beginning with that letter. And whomever at the end of the month has the most words will definitely take home the cash prize. So, Smooth, what is the letter?
The letter of the day is B, as in beryllium.
Oh, wow. He's going to give you a word like that, too. Well, listen, I have my timer ready. If you are ready, Superstar Kane Patino, on your mark, get set, go.
Boy, band, brilliant, bread, bean, beam, bend, brain, Bob, Bill, bark, breed, brand, Bryce, break, broke, bond, blessing, bland, blend, bloom, breathe, bride, blanket,
That was so funny because I swear you are a ventriloquist, because I heard another word say blessings.
Blanket.
I love it. I love it. Hey, I have you as 5, 10, 15, 24 words. 24 words is great. Let me tell you a key that I tell all the time, which it gives a head start on everyone that plays the game, is if you pluralize it. Like if you say bake, baking, baker, you just made one word, 3 words. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know what? I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll tell you how to cheat after you play.
Blessings. You can put an S on the end. So, hey, keep going. Every month, you're more than welcome to come back and play.
That's funny.
So far, I have you down as 24 words for the month of February. What's that?
How many did you get?
24.
Exceptional,
That
Kane.
is very good. Better than me. So let's see how things goes. And hey, Kane, I thank you for taking the time and playing Silvy Amid, the fun word guessing game. We're going to be in touch with you.
Sounds good, King.
All right. Thanks, Kane.
I love it.
Hey, you know what? You can come aboard and play Silvy Amid as well by simply sending me your name to queensylvia@comic.com.
Address and MasterCard number.
No. Go to the website, the Queen Silvy
Mother's
Show.
maiden name?
.com. No.
No?
Or where you're viewing, listening to this, you can pop the name in the section, comment section, Smooth, to make sure we get it taken care of. You too can play the fun word guessing game. I think we're going to switch it up next month to a different word guessing game. We have numerous games to play, but it's all fun and it's all free cash for just what, a minute?
A minute's worth of your time.
Yes, I love it indeed. But what I need to do right at this moment is give some shout outs to my good kings and queens from all over the world. Like you, Kinsley Patinio, Queen Jenna, Queen Ashley Follett Clark, and Kenneth Rawls. Shout out to you. To Helen Myers, Peace Myers, Corey and Casey Patinio, and Joan Mercer. Shout out to you. To Queen Aaliyah, Tay, Maya, Camille, and Dejour. Shout out to you. As well as my grandsons, my princes, Omari, Tyron, and Jonathan Jr. Shout out to you. Jonathan Sr., Lee Allen Sr. Shout out to you. To Queen Kaki, Sonia, Shanika, Brianna, Alana, and Precious. Shout out to you. As well as Kelly and Ryan and the All-American Boys, Matt and Tracy, and the All-American Girls, Patricia Wilhelm. Shout out to you. To Pamela Anderson, C. Shorty Franklin, Renita Easley, Gold Rosa, Donna Ferry, and Pam Bailey. Shout out to you, my good queens. To my friends down in Africa, Amy Kanema, Webster Rito, Hostile Flow, Princess Aria Lua, and Amy Kanema. Did I say Amy Kanema twice?
Maybe, maybe not. Who cares?
You deserve it, Queen
She
girlfriend. Hey, shout out to you. From the Netherlands, Edith Verhoek, shout out to you. My good queens in United Kingdom, Beth Lambert, Nicola Jones, Bethany Jones, and Kay Cross, shout out to you. Lorenzo Gabaniza, Nana Linda Shortley, James and Audrey, Serious Edition, shout out to you. Queen D. Brown, Melody Gorb-Dobb, Miguel Montebon, and Joe Mass, shout out to you. Hey, 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 hey. If you love to be shouted out, hey, or you have someone that you would love us to represent and shout y'all, we do that 3 days a week, every Tuesday, with the multiple award-winning The Queen Silvy Show every Wednesday with Tim's Tidbits, special co-host Larry E., and every Thursday with the Now You Know Show with Queen Silvy and Smooth Tim. So get ready because, hey, this is only the beginning. On this Tuesday, tomorrow is Tim's Tidbits, special co-host Larry E. That's in the evenings, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. Do check your time zones. And for some encouraging, inspirational, and even funny segments from great kings and queens all over the world, presenting it to you from their heart, is a Now You Know show. And that, too, is in the evenings on Thursdays, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, do check your time zones. Smooth, how can we be followed?
We can be followed by simply Googling us and, or even better yet, go to YouTube and drop in the search engine, The Queen Silvy Show. You'll get all of our shows. As like I said earlier in the show, is the other projects and stuff that we're working on. So while you're there, please subscribe. You'll have a blast. It's a good channel.
Absolutely it is. You know, it's a terrific Tuesday. You know, I fasted and, you know, I'm ready to go and smash my face with some food. And that I shall do. But I want you to enjoy your day. Make the most of your day. Tune in tomorrow for Tim's Tidbits. Hey, and with that said.
Till next week, same Queen time, same Queen station. We shall holla. Bye.